What's going on, guys? ShadowX back with you for another Dokkan battle video, and this time we're here to summon on the guaranteed LR ticket banner here, which is available on both versions. So make sure you guys are actively playing the game, doing all your missions as you should be to get these tickets for this free summon. You can't complain about this. Like, literally at the end of the day, it's literally just free characters, right? There's also a stone version of this banner, so if you really want to, I guess you could waste your stones on that banner, but I would highly avoid summoning on the stone version. I just don't think the value is there. But do what you want. I can't tell you what to do. I can only give you my opinion, right? I think you're better off just summoning on the main banners than sort of holding off and seeing what's next. And if you really want more free characters, then at that point I guess go in with your stones. But you can't deny that at the end of the day, like you're literally getting free LRs, right? So that is very valuable, regardless of how you see the stone version banner and then the guaranteed ticket, right? Now, one thing to note is the banners are different on both versions, which I am not a fan of. I don't like when we have these joint celebrations and then one version gets this, the other version gets that. This is better on this version, the other version has that, which is better. Like it's a joint celebration. Like, make everything the same. Like, it's not a hard concept. Like, I don't like when they do that. But before we jump into the summon here, I want to sort of switch over and take a look at the banner. Global has the much better version, which is unfortunate to JP players. I'm actually really bummed personally because instead of Esther Broly, they have Tech, Goku, and Gohan, which is a unit I really wanted. I went really hard for when they first came out, and I was unfortunately unable to get them. So I wish they were on this banner, but for JP players, we have Esther Broly, which is kind of an L, to be honest, but it is what it is. Let's sort of take a look at the banner here, and I'll give you guys my thoughts on what I think of the featured and unfeatured listing here. So starting with the featured units here, I'm not going to go over every character, but we'll just sort of talk about the better characters, I guess. Goten and Trunks here, they're okay. Their problem is that they have the Dokkan Fest version, which is way better. So this unit really has no spot to shine. I literally never use them, and I don't know where I would ever use them, and I just don't really care for them, to be honest. They're like an okay banner unit, but I think they could have been a lot better, right? Esther Broly, I actually don't have, so I really don't think he's that great, but for the purpose of me not having him, I actually really want him, so hopefully we can pick him up. I would really appreciate that. Tech Piccolo, we don't talk about you. You suck. Ho Gotenks, another unit that's really good for his AoE. I think he'd be very valuable in like Super Battle Road, World Tournament, any of this difficult content where you're fighting multiple enemies. He can be very valuable. So I love Ho Gotenks. Garlic Jr. here, another villain character that we were all very excited for when he first came into the game. However, he has definitely fallen off with power creep. You're really only using him for his support, but outside of that, defensively, he just doesn't really hold up as well as I would like to. But definitely can't wait for a Dokkan Fest version of him or an LR any day now, right? And then that's basically, I would say, probably like the only units that you really need to worry about on this banner. Outside of this, I feel like the featured listing here just falls off. Krillin, Tien, Supreme Kai, Broly, Paragus, Tapion, and then Goku. Like, all these characters need easy A's. So I guess one thing to keep in mind is in the future, these these featured characters here could be a lot better once they easy A, but for now, they're not really that valuable. You're not really going to get a lot of play out of most of these characters, right? So only really the top row I feel like is worthy of pulling. But let's sort of jump down to the unfeatured listing here, and talk about what I think about most of these unfeatured characters you could pull in this banner and where your value lies here. So Tien is actually a very good unit, especially when you have high HP, right? That's when he's at his best defensively. Or what did I say, Tien? Excuse me, Nappa. I actually don't have this character, so I would love to pull a copy of him. For the longest time, I don't know. There's like not in my game. There's certain banner units where I just can't pull. Like, I don't get it. Like, any day now, I'm just waiting to pull some of these characters, right? So hopefully, in this video we can pull some of these characters that I don't have. I would really love that. So we'll see. Burst and Jader, Birder and Jace, and then Rakuma Goldo. Still, we all know what they're capable of. Literally, like, within the top 5 best banner units in the game. I actually don't have Rakuma Goldo, so I'd love to pull a copy of them. Great Ape Vegeta, I just pulled my first copy of, so I'd love to use him, see what he's capable of, sort of play around with him. Kaioken Goku, everyone loves, right? An all-time community favorite, I would say. Since Shenron really doesn't have a spot right now, that's sort of his demise. He sort of falls into that category with like Kid Buu. He just needs like a better setup and a better partner. So once he gets that, he'll be in a much better position. So it's sort of unfortunate because we've all been asking for an LR Omega Sin Shenron and then like an LR Kid Buu. Those are really like the last two villain characters that we don't have LRs for. And once they get 200% leads, like they're going to be cooking. Like just keep that in mind, right? So definitely two characters that I'm really I have high hopes for. So Gohan and Trunks here. A lot of people sour on this unit. I like them. I still use them from time to time, especially when you can revive into Gohan. He's a beast, and he can definitely get the job done in difficult content. He still holds up pretty well. Base form before you can get that revive. I think the Gohan and Trunks version is a little bit underwhelming. I wish they were made a little bit better, but you can definitely still get some valuable play out of them. So definitely don't sleep on this unit. I think they're still really good, right? Especially all of like the negative talk that they get. I don't think they're deserving of that. So definitely a much better unit than I think a lot of people think what they are. So we still know what 19 and 20 are capable of. Still a very good solid banner unit you can pick up, right? Heart Virus Goku, sort of same thing. His most valuable asset is for the first 6 turns, but after that, he can definitely fall off defensively. But he's really just like that slot 1 unit that you need to cover up for a lot of these characters' weaknesses. So that's really the only really real reason I ever use Heart Virus Goku, like in Battlefield or like Super Battle Road. Really any of these difficult stages where the enemy just comes out hitting really hard, you need that slot 1 unit, and I think that Heart Virus Goku really fulfills that condition that you need, right? That's his role. LR God Goku and Hit, I feel like have definitely fallen off. They're definitely not as good as they were once they first came out, just with the power creep. The whole Universal Survival Saga team is completely dead and irrelevant, unrunnable, completely unusable. So it's sort of unfortunate, just it is what it is with 7th year anniversary power creep. Every single character that falls under the Universal Survival Saga pretty much is dead at this point. So I'm just waiting sort of for that Dokkan Fest God Goku that will sort of, hopefully he's like a support type unit for this character, sort of to make this character a lot better, right? Because right now they're sort of just by themselves and they're just completely unrunnable with, the way the game is at this moment in time, right? So I feel like after this, it pretty much just falls off. So we don't need to look at every character here, but third floor Frieza still is a pretty solid pickup. Not as good defensively. He's sort of just got power crept, and he can still be a solid support. He can do additional solid damage. He can still triple super attack, right? I actually just pulled my first copy of him not too long ago, which is really fire. LR Janemba is a unit I want to point out here. Probably the best LR pickup, with the introduction of LR Final Form Cooler. The two of them work so well together. Cooler gave this Janemba everything he needed. He got the 200% lead. They link very well. Their team is incredibly stacked. You can literally go into like every difficult content and just completely annihilate everything. Like you can beat the entire game pretty much with Cooler and Janemba together. And then the inclusion of LR Final Form or LR Meta Cooler. I feel like the three of them just are so cohesively designed that you can beat everything that you want to with the three of them. Like they have arguably like the top 5. They're in the discussion for the top 5 best team in the game for free easily. I feel like so LR. If you pull LR Janemba, like you've won, right? Like you've pulled the best unit on this banner. I feel like so. Any other notable units really here to talk about? Turles, I guess that's a solid pickup if you pull Turles. I'm not really seeing really too much else on here that's like super relevant. I feel like nah. I wish like the new Chile and Basha were on here, but unfortunately they're not. That'd be really fire if they were. But anyway, that's pretty much really it in terms of the featured and unfeatured best units you could probably pull on this banner. Overall, it's a very good banner. Again, at the end of the day, it's literally just free units, so you could walk away with some really good stuff. So I wish you guys the best of luck if you guys are you are summoning on the snow version of this banner, but make sure to definitely get all those missions done to pull on the ticket version of this banner. You don't want to miss out, right? So let's actually jump over and do our summon here and see what we pull. So starting out with the first summon here, let's jump in. Let's see what happens here. So we're getting a notification, reminding us that we have a summon available. So Goku flying in with Tien and Chaozu. So Remember, guys, animations here really don't mean anything because there's no new characters on the spanner, right? So, the best you could hope for is that you get God, right? The Super Saiyan God animation, because, you're obviously going to be guaranteed 3+ featured units, right? So that's really what you want. Okay, Int Hit, who I don't remember the last time I used, sure. I'm looking for stuff that I need, right? Don't need Tapion. And I'm looking for multiple SSRs. Like, I don't want to just do this summon and then just pull like 2 SSRs, right? Like, that would be really bad. Okay, TN, sure, I don't need. Can I pull something I could use? How about that? That'd be really fire. Okay, I have seen people get pretty fire luck on this banner, on this one summon. A lot of people have pulled some really good LRs, so I feel like we should just send him straight to Baba. Oh god. I will say though, the S-Tier Piccolo that just came out, once we finally get, Piccolo Power Awakened and then Orange Piccolo, Piccolo's gonna be in a much better spot, so do keep that in mind for Piccolo, right? Okay, LR, the GT trio here. I think I do need dupes of them, so I mean we'll take it, sure. Not one of the what? Come on, no. I mean dude. I've had him rainbowed for like so long. Like, why couldn't they feature the brand new STR Piccolo? Like, feature the Piccolo that's actually useful. Like, I still remember. Okay, Kai, I don't need him. Okay, Paragus. Okay, LR Mighty Mask. That was a really ass multi for me. Like, I mean, I think the GT trio is the only unit in this multi that I could even use. So I don't think that was very good. I guess I'll keep Mighty Mask for Power Awaken or the power scaling or Dokkan power level, excuse me. But that was really bad, dude. Well, let's sort of review this multi here. Let's just cut to the chase. Didn't pull anything I could use here. That was really bad. So hopefully you guys' luck, which was much better than mine, because that was just hot garbage. At the end of the day, like, it is free summons. Like, you can't complain about that, right? Like, if I was a newer player, like, these would be some pretty decent pickups, right? Especially, like, I feel like this is definitely if you're just starting out. Like, this is definitely for newer players, right? So, for us longtime players, the value here is probably not going to be so high. But at the end of the day, like, it's free units, right? So I'm not going to complain about that. We walked away with some pretty good pulls here. So I just wish I could have used more of these characters. Unfortunately for me, not the greatest summon, but it was free at the end of the day, right? So there you guys go. There was my summon here. Let me know what you guys pulled in the comments down below. And with that, that is going to do it for this one. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.